So I had another, let's just call it a fun-filled day at work today because it consisted of swinging sledgehammers all day again. Now, I did get a little bit of a break because I didn't have to swing the 20-pound sledgehammer quite all day like I did yesterday. It was a combination of the 20-pound with a 12-pound. So it still was a lot of grip and forearm work. This is why I don't. Now, if I ever quit and get a different job, if I'm lucky one day, um, this is why I don't ever do any forearm or grip specific training because my job is that for me. Now it's like a lot. It would almost be like coming into the gym and just doing a bunch of sets of 20 or 30, like nothing heavy for my forearms. But I do it pretty much all day. There are some days, like I don't want to sit here and over exaggerate. There are some days out of each week where we don't do that, and it's kind of laid back and actually a lot easier. But I'd say at least 2 or 3 days a week, every week, I'm swinging that sledgehammer pretty much all day. So, you know, and for anyone who's never swung a sledgehammer or even one for that long, I can safely confirm that it is a lot on your forearms, a lot. And it's almost to the point when I swing that 20-pound and I'm squeezing like this, my chest even starts to get, kind of a deep burn and everything. So it's, we'll just say that's my forearm training. So, but yeah, it honestly had me considering not doing much biceps today or actually doing them at all. But I think I'm going to. I think I'm going to anyways. It could change. My forearms are pretty fucked right now, and I haven't even started the workout, so it could change. But I'm still planning on doing biceps. It just won't be nothing crazy. Probably I'll probably just do the machine right behind me, honestly. But since last week, I did unilateral on this. We're gonna do bilateral today, and quite frankly, it's just a little easier when I do bilateral. Well, I wouldn't say easier. I can't lift as much weight, so that kind of saves, a little bit of grip, a little bit of effort with my forearms and grip. But then also, I get the sets done quicker. So not that that's a priority for today. Um, it's just something that might help me. So yeah, I got 5 plates. Might go up to 5.5. It's pretty much all gonna depend how this first one goes. So let me shut my trap and do it. Man, I'm just fucking sore. Holy shit. Let's hope get a little bit of adrenaline going and some more blood flow. That sensation kind of goes down. But man, I just feel beat up. So yeah, I'm not gonna go up anymore. This might be one of those days that it's more about. Well, I always want this to be an emphasis, but even more so today, it might be more about control and just really squeezing whatever said body part I'm trying to work. So yeah, fuck. Well, one set down. How many more I'm gonna do? Uh, I'm just gonna do two more. Maybe follow it up with the drop set, I think, and we'll move on. I'm not gonna go too crazy with the volume here today. I say that, but sometimes I don't follow everything I say. So we'll see when it comes to that point. But let's plan on two more with a good drop set, and we'll see after that. Oh, what a fucking day! What a day to be in here. I could keep pretty much bitching and complaining that I'm already sore, blah blah blah. But it's like, why? What is that going to accomplish besides anything? Probably make this workout worse. Now there is a certain point, if you're so sore, so tired, so sick, whatever, maybe consider dialing it back or completely just, taking a rest day. That's not what I'm going to do here. But it's like, oh man, most of this all comes down to your mindset, your training, your intensity, your diet, your level of commitment to the things outside of the gym that are going to affect your physique. It's all in your fucking head. And it's like, I don't know, a healthy mindset can change everything, literally everything. So, and I literally just experienced that because I did that first set and then I said how I was sore, almost kind of brought me down a little bit. And then I took a couple minutes, 2 or 3 minutes between the set. And then right before I got into this one, I tried to, and it does take effort. It does a lot of times, but I try to kind of switch my mindset, be positive, and just grateful that I can even fucking lift. Because some people would kill for this, and it completely changed everything. Like I'm still sore, don't get me wrong. It's not magic, It's not like a magic pill, but it just makes it easier. It makes it funner, or it makes it more fun. Um, yeah, so it's a mindset. It really is. And some people, I hate to say it, never get to that point or never can get there. And unfortunately, those people usually don't make it too long in the gym. It's kind of the harsh reality. But that's just kind of how it goes for some people. They can never get there, and it's always a struggle. It's always bitter. Like why do I got to go to the gym? All that shit. And I'm not saying I don't have days like that. I definitely do, but I try my best. I'd say a good majority of the time I can, even when I'm in that mindset, I can get out of it. All right, that was kind of long-winded. Fuck, let's do one more. And this drop set I'm gonna do is gonna be I might go all the way down to 2 plates instead of 3. I want to make it really good, really squeeze my back and make sure it's doing all the work. So we'll do one more and then that drop set. Fuck. All right, I lied. Let's do a fucking double drop set here for no other reason than just because I want to. Let's do it. All right, that was pretty effective. At a certain point, when you do a superset or a big drop set like that, your cardiovascular system is going to become the limiting factor before your muscles, unless you're a really good endurance athlete, whatever. Um, so if that's what you're trying to train, by all means, go for it. but I wouldn't recommend doing too many sets like this. The intensity is great. You know, you get a lot of reps in that said muscle group you're trying to hit. It's really good to try to or to be able to go beyond failure in a way, even though you're taking weight off. Um, but I'm sure you can tell I'm breathing kind of hard. Like at a certain point, it's just you're going to be breathing so hard. I mean, yeah, it was still a good set, but it's like I said, your cardiovascular system kind of limits you more than your actual muscles. Now, luckily, my back was pretty much done, so there's no problem, no issue. But that's why I wouldn't recommend doing that too much because after so many, it's just you're basically doing cardio, with weights. Which, like I said, if that's what you're training for, then you fucking do it. Don't let me tell you otherwise. But all right, first back exercise done. Let's do a little bit of biceps. This is probably the wrong day to do this. Normally, I work with this on 150, um, completely maxed out. Well, not completely, because you can turn this dial, like I've said before, and add 15 extra pounds of resistance. I usually have that at 0, so I just do 150. But today, I'm gonna add 10 pounds, so it'll be like 160. Although it's probably a little lighter than what it's, or at least it feels that way, a little lighter than what this says, because I couldn't preacher curl 160 free weight. Um, well, I don't know how many reps I'm gonna get, but I couldn't do it for the amount of reps I'm about to do with this. So yeah, this is I don't know if it's just the amount of, well, no, there's only, I don't know, I couldn't tell you, but this does feel easier. We'll leave it at that. So we'll do 3 sets with a drop set and move on. A little unintentional rest pause there. Wasn't planned, but all right, one more. Ah, fucking beautiful. Let's move on. We're gonna do something that I've done before with a little bit of a twist. For me, I'm sure you've seen this on other channels, but we're gonna do a. This is kind of embarrassing. These called pullovers, whatever they're called, to hit your lats. Normally, I will do this kneeling and with a straight bar, but I've seen several people do it with the rope, and they kind of just hitch at the waist here, lean forward to get that good stretch, and then just do that. Now, the thing for me is, for whatever reason, when I do that, I feel that elbow pain I've been dealing with. I feel it. So I'm gonna try to keep my elbows locked in place. And the main thing I think about when I do this is get that good stretch. And then as I'm pulling, drive the elbows back, just like you're doing a row almost. You want your elbows to kind of dictate what you're working. Because if like when you same thing with the row, if you're rowing and you just kind of collapse your arm in, and your elbow actually doesn't go back any farther, you're kind of working your biceps a little more than we want. Not to say that you're not working your back, because you still are, but you're missing some gains. You're missing some work. Same thing here. So I'm not gonna go crazy heavy. All things considered, this actually might be kind of heavy for where I'm at in this workout. But we'll try it. If it's too heavy, I'll lighten it up. Not a problem. Okay. That was a decent amount of reps. So I could go right back down on the third set. Let me go one notch heavier and see if I can get at least, if I can get at least 12, I'll make both sets this weight. If I'm only around 11 or less, I'll probably go back to where I was on this one. Uh, uh, okay, we're done here. What do you say we finish with the next best thing for lats to pull-ups? And that's a lat pull down. And in some people's eyes, lat pull down even surpasses pull-ups, but I don't know, maybe it's just because there's a special place in my heart for pull-ups, because that's kind of where that was like what got me started. Push-ups, pull-ups, a lot of body weight stuff. Um, but I still believe, especially as you put on more weight and more muscle, and naturally makes the pull-ups harder. You can progress and get stronger, get better, get bigger lats. So pull-ups can always be like, there is a certain point where you get so big and heavy, like the bodybuilders that are 250 plus, it starts to become really hard. But that's why you do assisted. I know it's kind of an ego thing. You know, you're this big 240, 50-pound plus mass monster, and you got to go over to the assisted pull-up bar to even do pull-ups. It kind of it takes a shot at your ego. Um, can look funny to see this big guy needing help doing pull-ups, but it's pretty much everybody who gets that big. I mean, it's just part of it. It's what happens. So there's no shame in it, and I'm getting close to that. That's the goal. So, but today it's lat pull down. So we'll do 3 sets, nice drop set. I might even do 4 sets here. I'll play it out by set, but we might do 4 or 5. All right. Again, I purposefully wanted to go light. That was too light. So the funny thing is, this is probably going to be too heavy. I went up 2, but I'm going to try it anyways. All right. That's a little heavy for where I'm at, but I think I'm going to do 4, possibly 5 sets here. Just really blast my lats. So I'll do one more. Again, somewhat heavy, same weight that I just did. And then on the 4th one, I might go a little lighter. 5th one, even lighter, with very quick rest. It'll be very, very close to just being able to call it a superset, but not quite. There's going to be enough rest that it's not quite. But I mean, fuck, you can still consider it one. I don't know, whatever. But that's the plan. All right, we're starting to get down to the last 2 or 3 sets. I need to find a good song to carry me through. We'll try. Well, yeah, we'll try this one. All right. It's all right. Two more at a lighter weight, just like I said, and we're done. Ah. Look at this. Got a nice fresh callus ready to come off. And there it goes. Having callus on your hands like this, in my opinion, let me step back, I'm a little close. In my opinion, is like a badge of honor. There's one gone, and honestly, it's so hard and rough. It feels like it's already getting replaced. Like there's one underneath the one on top. Okay. Let's just not even beat around the bush here. Let's get right into it, huh? Because at the moment, don't really have anything on my mind other than I'm a little sore. Just like I would hoped, though, as I progress through the workout, the blood pumping, the adrenaline kind of rushing. I feel a little better, but I'm kind of worried about tomorrow, if I'm being honest. But let's just fucking pose and we'll go from there. All right. The hardest part of this fucking workout, first of all, I thought was getting this jersey off because that was pretty tough. Come to find out, it was actually getting the jersey back on. I'm pretty sure. I don't know where. I don't think it was bad enough to actually show, but I heard some stitching being ripped when I was putting it back on. And jerseys are always made a little big. So instead of an extra, extra large, which is kind of what I'm wearing right now, I just got an extra large. I guess I should have got a double XL because it's pretty tight pretty much everywhere up here, which is cool. It's fucking cool. But it's a struggle to get on and off, especially when you're sweaty. You guys know how it is. It's like the clothes stick that much more. It's that much harder to get off. All right. I will say the pump, I mean, I don't know how it looked, but the pump did not feel the best today. Now, see, the pump and a burn is different. I got a deep burn, but I don't feel really, that ballooned up feeling where you just feel so full of blood. You're just super pumped. I don't feel, I mean, a little bit, but not like I want. But it's to be expected when you're cutting. I have like no carbs. Oh no, let me rephrase. I have carbs, but not nearly as much as my body's used to. My fats are pretty much almost non-existent. I'm maybe getting like 25 grams of fat a day, if that. So, it's kind of comes to the territory of cutting. I just got to get used to it. This is like the third time I brought it up ever since I started, but like I said, I just got to get used to it. All right, I'm gonna go get on the bike. Probably do 20, 25 minutes. Be back tomorrow for leg day.